All right, so how do you introduce a character who is going to define a whole generation of fantasy? Today, we're diving into Tyrion Lannister's very first chapter to see how his wit, his morality, and, let's be honest, his deadliest weapon, his mind, are all put on full display. All before he's even finished his breakfast. The chapter doesn't even open with our character. It opens with a sound, that single howl, and it immediately sets this incredibly somber, almost gothic tone. It's a sound of grief, of mourning, and it drops both us and Tyrion into what the text calls a dark forest of the mind. The stage is set, and it's clear this story is going to operate in the shadows. So our first real look at Tyrion isn't in some grand throne room or out in the training yard. No. It's in a library. And that choice right there, it tells you everything you need to know. It immediately defines him as an intellectual, a man of the mind, in a world that pretty much only values brute strength. So who is this person we're meeting? Well, he's a night owl, for one, staying up to absorb books while everyone else sleeps. And he's not just, casually reading. He is studying ancient, rare scrolls. But all of this brain power is set against his physical reality. His short, twisted legs make just walking down a set of stairs a huge effort. And yet, he's incredibly patient, carefully telling a librarian exactly how to handle these fragile old books. This single moment just perfectly captures his whole conflict. He limps out of the warm, safe world of books, the one place he's a master, and steps right into the biting cold of the physical world, where he is instantly judged and dismissed. I mean, that one transition just establishes him as a permanent outsider. And the second he steps into that courtyard, his character is immediately put to the test. He's confronted by his nephew, Prince Joffrey, and this moment reveals, well, a surprisingly strong moral compass. Joffrey is being an absolute monster about the gravely injured Bran Stark, and Tyrion doesn't hesitate for a second. He starts with a sharp command: go offer your condolences. When Joffrey refuses, Tyrion does the unthinkable and delivers the first slap. Joffrey threatens to tell his mother, which, you guessed it, earns him a second slap. And finally, Tyrion lays down the law, spelling out exactly what the prince will do. He's not just asserting physical power here, he's asserting moral authority. And of course, there are immediate consequences. The Hound, Sandor Clegane, looms over Tyrion and says this: "And make no mistake, this is not a warning, it is a threat." By disciplining Joffrey, Tyrion has just made a very, very powerful enemy. But Tyrion doesn't even flinch. He takes the Hound's insults, calling him a dog, and just flips it right back at him as a command. It's a brilliant, strategic move to assert his own power. He knows exactly the risk he's taking, and he just leans right into it. This isn't just courage, it's calculated, pure audacity. Okay, so the physical confrontation is over, but the real battle? That's just getting started. We move to the breakfast table with his siblings, Jaime and Cersei, and here the weapons aren't swords or fists. They're words, their glances, and their suspicions. Tyrion walks in, makes a little small talk, and then just casually drops this bombshell into the conversation. On the surface, it's just a bit of news. But it's not. It's bait. He is watching his siblings, and he's not just listening to their words, he's listening to the silence between them. And this is it. This is the moment. A single, fleeting glance that passes between Jaime and Cersei that is all he needs. In that 1 second, his suspicion that they were involved in Bran's fall is completely confirmed. It's a silent confession, and Tyrion is the only person in that room sharp enough to see it. So what does this silent look actually tell us? I mean, yeah, it reveals they're guilty, but more importantly, it reveals Tyrion's greatest strength, his incredible power of observation. He sees what everybody else misses. His mind is his weapon, and he just found his target. So now Tyrion knows the truth, or at least he's pretty certain of it. The real question is, what are you going to do with that kind of dangerous knowledge? Because his reaction here, it sets his course for the entire story. The difference between the two brothers here is just stark. You've got Jaime, the handsome, celebrated knight, who sees a crippled life as worthless. He'd rather have a good, clean death. But then you have Tyrion, who considers himself one of the grotesques, and he argues the complete opposite. For him, as long as there's life, there are possibilities. That single idea defines his whole worldview and his incredible will to survive. So what's his move? He announces he's not going south with the family. Instead, he's heading north, to the Wall. This is partly a way to escape the political games of the court, for sure, but it's also an act of pure intellectual curiosity. In his own famous words, he wants to stand on top of the Wall and piss off the edge of the world. Right after shutting down Jaime's talk of a mercy killing, Tyrion says this about the still unconscious Bran. And this is the moment he subtly, brilliantly reveals his hand. It's a veiled threat, telling Jaime in no uncertain terms, I know you were involved, and I can't wait to hear what the only witness has to say about it. And Jaime gets the message loud and clear. That smile on his face just curdles. The trust between them evaporates in an instant. For the first time, Jaime is completely uncertain about his clever little brother. The power dynamic between them has just been changed forever. So whose side is Tyrion on? He's on his own. Tyrion's reply is just chilling. He washes down his food with some beer, gives this wolfish grin, and delivers this line. The words themselves sound affectionate, but they are absolutely dripping with threat. He's using the very idea of family to confirm, without a doubt, that he knows their dirty secret. So we end right where we started, really. In just one single chapter, Tyrion has outmaneuvered a prince, stared down a killer, and unmasked a conspiracy using nothing but his own mind. He's an outsider, even in his own family, but as we've just seen, that sharp mind might just make him the most dangerous player on the entire board.